This is the ballad of a guy named Jackalope Jim. He was the West's quickest draw, and no one could beat him. At the tender age of 10, he lost his mom and pop. So with a gifted metal arm, became a man of the law.
Hey, it's Russ, the Big Guy, and this is the birth of Jackalope Junction right here on Jackalope Junction Television. And as I mentioned in our last episode 8, we also have Greg Shumsky, chief cook and bottle washer, and the founder and the brainiac behind this whole concept of Jackalope Junction. Greg, how you doing today?
I'm good, Russ. How are you, sir?
Long day, right?
The sun, the clouds burned off. It was sunny. It was beautiful, which it should be here in San Diego, and it was nice.
It's been in the news. It's a big thing lately. So you're on 10 years of a drought, like year 10. But then there was a lot of rain this year. Things started filling up.
We should not be having a drought. We had so much rain and snow last month or so that we got 20 feet or more of snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains from end to end. That means the whole range of the Sierra Nevada got 20 feet of snow, and they got it up in the San Bernardino Mountains got it as well.
Yeah.
All these reservoirs filled up. There's still tons of snow up there, believe it or not, sitting up there, melting away nice and slow and filling up our reservoirs. So we're hoping that they can say that we're not in a drought, because we shouldn't be. When you have, imagine how many gallons of water 20 feet of snow is for thousands of miles.
I don't know the math, but
thousands of miles.
It was just in the news today that even the water table is not, up to where it's supposed to be, but
it's getting there. As a matter of fact, some of the reservoirs, though, they are not letting them fill up because they're trying to replace the dams on them. So we got a number of reservoirs, unfortunately, not able to hold the water because we had so much. Is what it is. It's California, my friend.
Well, listen, I'm sure they had troubles back in Jackalope Junction's day as well. And, it doesn't get to be desert-like if it's raining all the time. So last time you had mentioned a senior mole.
Senior.
So let's talk about senior mole. Yeah, let's talk about senior mole.
Let us talk about senior Antonio Mole. So,
all right, his name is Antonio.
Antonio.
All right.
Yeah, not Anthony. He's not Italian, but it's Antonio. So senior mole originally came about because I wanted to have a taco shop at the park. Because, well, San Diego is known for its Mexican food, and it's and more or less not just the good Mexican restaurants we have, but all the taco shops we have.
Yeah,
and we have a specific kind of taco shop that are barrel shaped. So I thought I want to have a barrel shaped taco shop at the park near the mine caves, and I thought, well, and this is all based on the idea that at Disneyland at California Adventure, they have the over by the Pixar area, they have the lunchbox that is a takeout box for chicken or something like that. And I thought, that's kind of a cute idea. How do I work that into the park? And so I thought, I'll have this thing, this barrel-shaped taco shop, but if it's by the mine caves, I might as well make it a giant barrel of TNT, a used powder keg of TNT.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, who owns this thing? I mean, we've got to give them, somebody's got to own who runs this shop? And I thought of, well, it's got to be a little Mexican fella, of course, because it's a taco shop.
Yeah.
And then I thought about, well, if it's a taco shop, who's the what's his name? I thought, well, or what is he? And I thought, well, we have Jackalope Jim. Well, it's by the mine caves. I'll make this guy a mole. And I thought, well, mole, senior mole. And so the taco shop was born, Senior Moles, and I thought TNT, tacos and tamales.
All extra spicy or what?
Yeah, tacos and tamales. So it's this really cute. You can look it up on. You can look up on our site. It's or on LinkedIn. It's a barrel-shaped taco shop. It's on Instagram too. Barrel-shaped taco shop. Looks like a barrel of power keg with the fuse coming out the top, and the fuse will be sparkling. And it says TNT on it, but then there's a sign slapped above it. It says Senior Moles. And below TNT, he's painted in white paint, which is all drippy, tacos and tamales. So,
So how did Senior
or it could be
Molly end up
tacos and
there?
tortas because tortas are easy to eat. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, isn't Senior Molly one of the original residents, or?
He is. So I came up with this idea for Senior Mole, and then that was pretty much it. And so as I started to work on, as time passed, I started working on the story more and more, and the characters who were there just for color, more or less, or for cuteness, started taking on their own characters. And this little fella, I figured when we started working, well, when I started working on the idea of Jackalope Junction being a ghost town, which is a whole other story how I got there.
Yeah.
Why was it a ghost town? And I came up with Mighty Oak Springs in this mining town, and I thought Senior Molly would have been the perfect guy. He's just got the right disposition to be the foreman. He's kind-hearted. He's a good leader. He's gentle. He listens to his guys. He's accountable for everything he does. He's truthful. He never lies about anything. He's just one of the nicest guys you can know. And so I made him the foreman of the mines, and of course he wants it to be safe. And when the town fathers decide to try and increase production, and we had this big mine cave accident, and they lose 13 people to 11 folks and 2 kids. He's just beside himself. And so the town goes, he keeps looking for everybody, looking and looking up, decides to devote his life to looking for the lost people. And so there's no taco shop at the time, obviously. And he stays behind with some other people when the town goes bust. He doesn't, and he decides to live in the mine caves and keep looking for people. And many years go by, 20 years go by before he runs into Jackalope Jim and strikes up a friendship with him, and they rebuild the town. And he decides he's going to pursue his dream of having a little restaurant and opens up the taco shop. So that's Senior Mole in a nutshell. Now, if we get into the character of who he is and who he's based on, it's I thought about when I was developing the character, who would I most see him as, and a lot of the characters in this are based kind of on me, and they're based on people I grew up with or friends and family. And this little fellow, though, is based on my wife's grandpa, Tony. His name was Antonio Aguilera, actually. And he wasn't super tall, he was maybe 5'4" or something, but he was strong. And he was the dad of, I want to say 7 children or something like that. And he was just a very kind, loving, strong. He's a disciplinarian. He didn't put up with any guff. He was very conservative in his ways, and but he loved everybody, and he invited people. He loved having guests over at his house, and he loved serving. And he was neighborly to everybody. Everybody loved him. He was a butcher originally. When my mother-in-law was a child, he was a butcher, and they didn't live on a lot of money, and he'd bring home leftover bits from the cow tails, the ox tails, and other stuff, and bring home the leftover meat that didn't get sold that day, and there you have it. So he's a good man. I knew him for a short while, but he was just one of the nicest, kindest, generous people you could hope to ever meet. So
yep. So Senior Mole started out as the foreman at the mine.
Yeah.
And then after the collapse, he stayed to try to save the miners, recover people
Well,
or
looked for
rescue.
them. Yep. They after the mine cave, he went back in with a rescue party
Yeah.
to try and find them, and they couldn't find them. And after searching for everybody for a week, they couldn't hear anybody in there. They couldn't find where they went. They checked everywhere they could think of possibly. It was dug out where the cave in was, nobody there. And so they figured the mines were cursed, and they shut them down. And the town wasn't making any money anymore, so it went bust, and a lot of people moved out. A few people stayed behind. Him and the Gerties, who ran the general store, who run the general store now, and Paula Pig, whose husband died in the mine caves, and Shotgun Sally, whose fiance, her betrothed, died in the mine caves, and like I said, the Gerties, whose son and daughter died in the mine caves, and that's pretty much it. And a few other people stayed behind because they didn't know where else to go.
Do we know what these characters were up to during those 20 years, or
No, we don't.
Jackalope Jim showed up?
Nope, we don't
Nothing
know.
in history books. They just were sort of existing.
Yep, I know what you do when you lose everything. Some people just exist, right? They
Yeah.
try to move on, and they try to cope and move on, and that's what Jackalope Junction is kind of about. Also, is how do we help people cope? How do we help people move on from tragedy in their lives? And each of the characters I've created has something about them that speaks to you or me or you or you or you or that fellow over there,
Right.
that lady back there, or that little kid over there. They all speak to somebody.
Yeah. So you mentioned that part of the reason he was a foreman was it was sort of in his character for that to be in that position. He's kind and gentle. He was a good leader. He
Trustworthy.
was truthful, so I assume he was trustworthy as well.
Yes.
The
Yep.
miners liked him, respected him. He was accountable for
Well,
himself
everybody
and for
liked
the
him.
miners.
Yeah, the town loved him. The miners loved him. The lived there, the town fathers loved him. Everybody had a lot of respect for him because he didn't do anything that would cause him to lose respect of others.
Right.
He didn't play any games. He didn't try to take advantage of people. He was just a real upstanding, kind-hearted fellow. He is.
So 20 years later, he uh, starts his taco stand,
Yeah.
and that's with the resurgence of the town. Is that when that
Yeah,
started?
exactly. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
So 20 some odd years later, it's 20 years later, Jackalope Jim shows up, and it takes him a year or two to rebuild the town, and then word gets out and people start moving back in. And then he decides I'm gonna build I've got this giant barrel of TNT, this giant powder keg of TNT, and that'd make a good building. So he rolled out there, and they set it up, and he cleans it out and builds his little kitchen in there and starts making his favorite things in the world, tacos and tortas, for instance, because tortas are easy to eat. And of course, churros, the best churros you'll ever have.
Okay. Well,
Best
being
churros
from the
ever.
Northeast, most of what we have probably is not authentic.
Yeah, not the kind of churros that come in a box that you heat up in the oven and sell them. These are freshly made, delicious, freshly made churros and a bunch of other fun treats like buñuelos and burritos. Now, the burritos he makes, we were talking earlier, San Diego style. So I'm going to talk about San Diego style Mexican food. San Diego Mexican food is, I can honestly say, and I challenge anyone out there that thinks their Mexican food is better than San Diego, but it's not.
What if they're from
And
Mexico? What if they're in Mexico?
it's still better than I've been to Mexico. I've had tacos in Mexico. They're okay. but I'm telling you, I've been to the East Coast, not good. I've been to
Wow.
Texas, not good. I've been
People
everywhere.
people have a chance to sample
I'm
Sierra
gonna.
Male's cuisine.
I will happily. You come to San Diego, I will take you to a few of the best taco shops and stuff here, and you will go. I'm coming back to San Diego. Our burritos. So, for instance, the burritos that I would get at back east in Maryland or something like that are about
Yeah.
yay big, about that.
Oh,
No, they're about that big. Hand size. They're
yeah.
hand sized and so big. The burritos we have here are about
Oh,
that big
yeah.
and about that big around. They weigh a good solid pound or more.
Wow.
And there's no filler. There's no rice and beans in them. They're if you get a carne asada burrito, it's carne asada, pico de gallo, some cheese. Hey, don't mess with my pan. That's my dog. Hey, what do you have there? Thank you. No, our boxer. There's gonna be a boxer, I think, in the park also. Doc Boxer. So yeah, rolled tacos. You guys don't have rolled tacos outside of San Diego. You call them taquitos. It's not the same thing.
Okay.
Uh, Tacos are crispy shell shredded beef. You don't get shredded beef anywhere else. And so he decides to open up this taco shop because really honestly, everybody should have a chance to enjoy really good Mexican. And if we're going to be in Tennessee with the park, that's going to be a real treat for everybody that comes because they don't have to fly to San Diego to have Mexican food. So
Well, I like the idea that Senior Male after years of sort of existing, he decided to stick with the town. He was felt like that was his home. Obviously, he invested a lot into it before the mine collapse. But now he is actually sharing like it was something very personal to him, and he was able to grasp onto like his joy and build
right,
on that, his passion
right,
for the
right.
food or passion
Well,
for the food. Yeah,
yeah, and that's the thing about, I love to cook. I love to cook. I love to barbecue and I love to smoke stuff. I love making chili. I make a really great chili. When we have friends and family over,
I
and
keep
I
hearing
could
about the
just,
chili. I haven't tasted it yet, but
oh, it's the best
you
chili
know,
you'll ever have, Russ. Honestly,
frozen chili will ship.
it's true. I'll have to make chili and send you send. I'll have to freeze some and send it in a little thing with some dry ice. The thing about
I've been eating chili all week. I made a huge pot earlier. Now,
you're,
you put cocoa in your chili?
I put things in there I'd rather not discuss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I,
cocoa.
I put cocoa in mine.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, have I put cocoa? Maybe. I don't think I
My
have.
last one had cube sirloin steak in it
Oh, that's
and
nice.
cocoa.
Oh, that's almost like a Texas chili then,
I
somewhat.
don't know, but I'm still eating it. It's been
Okay.
it's not gone yet. It's not gone
After a
yet.
while, you're like, I'm done with chili. Uh, but I love cooking and I love serving people and I love
Yeah.
happy. I love, and that's the purpose behind Jackalope Junction. I really want to create a place families can come
Yeah.
that's not going to break the bank,
Yeah.
that's they can have a great time, enjoy a day or a few hours, whatever, or come for a whole day and make great memories and just relax, just
Yes.
decompress.
Just
No
breathe.
long lines that you don't have to fast pass or the magic genie to get in line to get on a ride for one ride in an 8 hour day. You can go on the rides. We're gonna try and keep the numbers down through reservations. I want people to enjoy the place. I want them to get there and just go. It's like going to a neat little town.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go have a little food. We're gonna walk around, look in the shops. Oh, look, there's rides. Oh, look, there's more.
Great hometown entertainment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And when you're done, you'll go, wow, why have I spent so much money on other parks when this is just fantastic. And the kids can join the deputy sheriff's school. The parents can join the deputy sheriff's school. I don't care.
Yeah, I already got my badge.
So go shooting around the park at different targets. And I was thinking today, maybe even adding some sort of steampunk Western laser tag arena somewhere. That'd be cool.
Something,
right?
Yeah.
But they go around the park and shoot stuff and get a score, and
people who want to get some exercise can.
And badge and just make it fun. Fun for the whole family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, time's about up.
Holy cow.
We're keeping these short. All right. This is episode 9, and we've come to the end. Greg, thanks for telling us about Senior Mole.
My pleasure.
And some extra color in there as well.
I like color.
This is the end of episode 9. And number 10, we're going to be talking about
something else.
Any hints?
Shotgun Sally.
Shotgun Sally. Okay.
Oh, yeah. She's a fun one. She's a sassy one.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Russ.